What is up guys, it's Troy at the Full Setup, back with another review for you. Now for the last couple of weeks I have been using these are the Liberty Air 2 Pro true wireless earbuds from Soundcore. Now these retail at about £130, but I'm telling you right now, they're certainly worth the money over maybe a cheaper £20 to £50 set that you would be looking at over at Amazon. Spoiler, the imaging on these is absolutely incredible. I've been thoroughly using these. Now if you haven't heard of Soundcore, because actually I hadn't before they contacted me, I didn't know that Soundcore were originally, as it says on the box, by Anchor, but they've switched over to being a, their own sort of company now. Soundcore is completely separate, but I was reading some reviews on the just of all their previous products, and these have been very well received, especially the Liberty range as well. A lot of reviews saying these are sort of the best alternatives if you don't want AirPods. Being an Android user, that's definitely something that I want because I want to be able to fully maximize them. I know you can use AirPods with Androids and stuff, but I want to be able to use all the extra features, things that I can't do because I don't like being in a closed Apple system. Here they all are. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird talking. It just feels a little bit weird talking when one's in the ear. I mean, they're fine for calls and stuff, but it feels weird on camera. So that's why they're not in. But they come in this cool little case. But enough about that, because we're going to show you the unboxing in a second. Then I'm going to come back and tell you all about the noise cancellation, the sound quality, everything that I've been enjoying with them as well. So let's check out the unboxing and then I'll come back and tell you about the sound. Let's get these earbuds unboxed then, but first we are going to have a little look around the box. Now Soundcore sent me over the titanium white versions because that's what I requested, but they also make them an onyx black, sapphire blue and a crystal pink colour as well, which is sort of like an off-whitey pink. Even with the blue as well, it's more of just a sort of darker navy blue and then just your standard black. I just went for the white ones because they just show up a little bit better when we're doing the camera, but generally my personal preference would be black, but yeah, looks better on the camera. Hybrid ANC, anti-noise cancellation, pure sound, targeted active noise cancellation, which we'll show you all of that stuff in the app later on in the video. Pure note technology, 26 hours of total playtime, but it's 7 hours if you don't not recharge them in the case, and 6 hours if you've got noise cancellation on. So not a big hit for noise cancellation, which is nice. And it says wireless charging, but I think that's just as in wireless, as in they charge in their little carrier case. They're also endorsed by 10 Grammy winning artists, if that's anything that you'd be interested in. Pure note technology, so these are using their, the specs of these again, so these are using their 11mm pure note drivers. The information that they sent me over, I don't have anything on sort of what frequency ranges that they're doing, but these are very nice sounding headphones, as I will tell you in a minute. But then also with their pure note technology, they are using Vegas drivers coated with 10 hardened nano layers, generate stunning accuracy and density. Oh, does that say density? Clarity. I'm looking through my camera screen, it's hard to read. And then over on the back as well, got a picture of the headphones, pure note technology, which we were just talking about, the active noise cancellation. Also got Hear ID as well, where you sort of listen to lots of different test tones and then it sets it up for you. I'm going to tell you about how that testing went with me as well. Clear calls via 6 noise cancellation mics, and we've already talked about the battery playtime. Now I don't know if this is a retail box because Soundcore, although they originally came from Anchor, they are a separate company now, but Anchor sent me some stuff recently and that was in like a promotional packaging, so I don't know if your mileage will vary or if this is, it looks to be purchaser. I would say this looks to be how you're going to get them. Again, it's showing you about the Soundcore app, which I had to send me a beta one of because it wasn't on the App Store at first when I was first using it. It was just using them sort of vanilla really, not knowing what was going on there. And it's got about the different sort of types of ANC that you can use as well. Transport, indoor, outdoor, which I was having a bit of a testing with today as well. And they do have some variations between them. So here are the earbuds. So they're sort of white with silver. We've got the Soundcore logo, which I don't mind. I do believe this doesn't seem to be on their other earbuds where it has the Soundcore logo. I think it cheapens them a bit. I don't really want to see that on a £130 set of earbuds. We're going in and out of focus. There we go. So yeah, prefer that not to be there if you were going to do a revision on it. Just stick with this little cool logo up at the top. It's the sort of shape of them there as well. So that's sort of AirPod-y style, but I think these look a lot nicer than AirPods. I don't like those round tubular, sort of lowest of the range AirPods. Same again. On the other one, you've got your little contact there. Let's have a look if we can see that. It's going to be hard. Get a bit of focus there, so you can also see the microphones on them. Got them at top and bottom, 3 on each one. Call quality, I'll do you a test in a minute. So is what I would say to you. And here is the little charging case. So it's a USB-C charging case. Stick these little ones in here. You're going to need them to be in here for when you do firmware updates and all that sort of stuff. And I really like this, actually. USB-C. You hold that button down to reset them as well. And this is like a grey, but you're probably not going to see it here on camera, but it's almost got like a sort of like fabricy like look to it. You know, like when it's got like a pebble dashy. It's like a grey with some like bluey undertone Soundcore logo on it there. See, that's nice. Case looks premium. You know, I understand that brands want to put their labels on stuff. Well, that's nice. You've also got your, I'll show you that it's charging there. So this is fast charging as well, so USB-C on here as well. So for 15 minutes you can get, I think it's 3 hours worth of usage. So if you've got an Anker charger, Anker fast charger, you could use one of those, or any fast charger that you might have. USB-C charging cable. Now this bit's real nice. Have a little look in here. I don't think this bit comes out. It's got all your manuals, bits and bobs, how to get it started, well, to download your apps from. Look at all of these. Look how many ear tips you get. And we will talk about ear tips in a minute because they're real important with these headphones. So they go all the way down to extra small and all the way up to large plus. So these are some, let's just compare the largest with the smallest. Look at the difference. Loads of tips. I've actually just found the stock tips fit me fine.
Right then, before I continue telling you about how they sound, let's talk about the microphone quality. It's not very good, all right? Not really massively impressed. I mean, it's passable for calls. There's been a lot worse. I think probably they're not very good. It's just not great. I mean, the microphone in my phone is better, and I always feel like the target for especially true wireless earbuds, especially if you're asking over £100 for them, they need to be better quality than the microphone on your phone. And I know that phones come with good mics, but I wouldn't be using these for Zoom, Skype, Teams meetings or anything like that. I prefer to just use the microphone on my phone.
And another little con as well, because we're just going to do cons before we get started, and obviously, so you've got a microphone test, is that the touch on this just it's useless. I can do a double tap to make it pause. Anything else has just frustrated me. To be honest, I don't really like touch stuff on the wireless earbuds. It stresses me out anyway, even on ones that do work. So, you know, if it's something that you absolutely want, you know, the touch sort of stuff, then I would possibly stay away from it, maybe look at another brand. So there was the unboxing and the microphone test. And like I said, just wasn't massive on the touch, but there's a couple of other little things I do like about them actually. The one thing I like, even though the touch is crap, is that when you take one out of your ear and put it down, it does pause the music. Really like that. And I love the case. I probably just said it at the beginning. It snaps. They charge well. All their battery hours that they claim to are very good as well. But we need to talk about the sound. And I think it's probably best to tell you about the sound signature before we get over to the app. Because I feel as I show you different things in the app, we're going to talk about how maybe it affects the sound. So let's talk about sort of that first. Now, if I could say anything about these sound signature, and definitely from looking at other reviews of Soundcore, you know, previous little earbuds as well, is it's V-shaped. It's definitely V-shaped. So these for the price do produce very good bass. They're not the most bass heavy that I ever heard, and there's something you need to do first. It says on the box, you put them in, you twist them, right, and you lock, sort of twist it. So you sort of start it here and then you lock it into position. So the sound is really affected by, sorry, I just don't like talking with them in. I feel like I can hear something resonating in here. But the sound is sort of very affected by what ear tips you use. So originally I didn't like the standard ear tips that was included. I thought they felt too big. So I used some smaller ear tips and then I was like, there's no bass response here. So it really is a mix of just getting what you want. That's what you want to start with before you even start assessing the sound and messing around on the EQ on these. If you put a song on that you know has got plenty of bass and there's no bass there, you want to be switching ear tips. It's all about put it down like that, twist it, lock it into position. As soon as you got that nailed, these have got some serious rumble to them. Now, being V-shaped, having that sort of scoop means that it's going to be pulling away some of the mid-range. I quite like mid-range. It's something that I do enjoy. I like to hear vocals. I really like them at the front of my mix, and I do prefer a little bit more mid-range than probably most of your users, but then I don't mind a V-shape anyway. That being said, male vocals sound very good on these. Female vocals definitely sound the most forward, but honestly, the mid-range you can adjust in the EQ, as I'll show you in the app in a second. Now, the highs being V-shaped, for some people these may sound a little bit too trebly. If you're sensitive to treble, again, this is something that you're going to want to tweak down. Maybe if you're like a Sennheiser user, Sennheiser normally have that relaxed treble, then you're going to want to turn it down a little bit, but they're not sharp and piercing, because I have a pair of sharp and piercing headphones here in the DT990 Pros. These aren't for everyone. I'm sort of getting these, I'm falling in love with these a little bit more. They're burning in well. The treble does start to burn off, but it's still very sharp. And one song that I found that makes me want to throw these off my head when it's at the normal listening volume that I listen to everything else is Nirvana's Polly. I just find there's certain parts in that where Kurt's voice is just far too sibilant and far too sharp. And so the normal volume that I'd been listening to for the rest of that album on, it just makes me want to throw these off my head. And it just seemed to be sort of like acousticy sort of rock music as well, like that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that Nirvana's Polly is, because it's not. But yeah, that sort of stuff where it's very sharp and sibilant makes me want to get rid of these, all right? It makes me want to chuck them off my head. And all of the songs that make me want to chuck these off my head don't make me want to chuck the Soundcores off my head. And having that heightened treble is what gives these such good imagery. So a song that I like to listen to, it's weird because there's not actually a lot going on in that song, but if you listen to a song by an artist called Hope Tala, Blue, there's like this little snapping sound that goes on in it. It's really wide, and that just, the imaging on these is just exceptional for the money. I mean, if you're someone that generally buys, you know, 20 to 50 pound headphones, okay, but you want to be hearing all these details, you want to be listening to all your albums all over again, and you check out reviews, and I don't even mean audio reviews because I'm not an audiophile person, but even, you know, you don't check out high-end reviews, you just maybe read Amazon reviews and you see loads of people saying, this has got so much detail, it's like listening to all my albums all over again. These are these sort of earbuds, okay? This is what you sort of want. This wants to be top of your list, all right? All your music is going to sound refreshed and renewed. If you're always using cheap stuff, all right? These are just going to sound phenomenal. All right, shall we have a little look at the Soundcore app then? So I didn't actually have this for the first week as well, because they didn't release it because they didn't want people to see that they had new headphones coming out. So as you can see, I'm already connected to the Liberty Air 2 Pros, but you can sort of, on the app, you basically go on there, you can see we've got the Liberty Series, Live Series for headphones, you've got all the speakers and all that sort of stuff as well. So we go Liberty Series, and we're going to go Air 2 Pros. It's just going to search and find them. Bada bing, bada boom, right? We're connected. It's going to show you the battery for the left and right. You've got the ambient sound, Hear ID and equalizer, and touch controls. So here you can mess around with all the touch controls and customize it to whatever you want. But honestly, the play and pause and answer call is about all I've managed to get working, all right? That's just the one thing. Nothing else I haven't been able to get working, okay? So let's have a look at some of the options in here though. Previous voice sounds, ambient sound, which is your noise cancellation. Now for noise cancellation, what would I say about the noise cancellation? It's very good, but it's not class leading, okay? It's not Bose, it's not Apple, but it is very good. It's much better than headphones under £70 because none of them really have good noise cancellation. So you've got a few different options. You've got normal, which is just going to be off. Transparency mode, which is maybe if you've got them on, maybe if you're sat in the office, you're allowed to have headphones on, but you want to be able to hear someone say, Troy, mate, I need you to do this for me. So that's going to allow some vocals through. So you can customize that. So that's very useful because sometimes, you know, generally I've got to pick up the phone at work, but every now and then I might have a task that I need to do where they say, don't worry about the phone, just focus on that. So I put my headphones on, but then at least I can hear someone if someone needs me to actually get on the phone because maybe all the IT systems are broke or something like that. So transparency mode is very good. And then you've got the different modes as well. So indoor, outdoor, you can do custom, which I'll show you in a second. Now transport, I tested that one. So the difference between outdoor and transport. Outside my work, so I work in a town centre, it can get quite busy around lunchtime, even though it's supposed to be a lockdown, my town's still really busy. And you could definitely hear the difference in that. The low end rumbles, especially from bigger cars and stuff, went out the way, but you know, it just affected the sound a little bit more than I would like listening to the music. So I generally just went for outdoor and I would rather just be able to hear a little bit of car sound anyway, because I'm generally in my own little world. Do you know what I mean? I just walk around in my own little world. So I don't want to get run over. There's this one corner I almost always get run over like once a week on, and it's always because of headphones. So yeah, and then you've got the custom. So custom means you can just spin around, and all of these sort of settings are sort of set to the custom one, okay? They're just one of those ones. So that's your ambient sound, noise cancellation, Hear ID and equalizer then. So these can personalize to your ears. What are those headphones, the main ones that are known for doing it? So it can sort of, I don't know what it does, but apparently it does something. You know, it assesses what frequencies you can listen to. So you basically go onto it and you have to keep pressing yes or no. Can you hear these frequencies on each ear? And I've done it a few different times, and every time I got a sort of slightly different result. I've just got a sort of slightly different waveform going on here. But if anything, I would say it's a presence boost. Okay, that's what I would say it always sounded like to me. But it sort of worked actually for what I liked, because it heightened up the treble even more, because the treble wasn't at the level where I wouldn't like it anyway, although I did then find on a couple of songs I just had to knock the volume down once or twice, which then extended the imaging. The imaging just got even better, and it bumped the mid-range for me, so I didn't even have to mess around with the EQ. But it's not going to be for everyone. I mean, if these are already on the cusp of what you like from treble, then yeah, it might not work. But then I don't know how it sets it up, because it's all different ears. I don't know where it's at with it on that thing. I don't know if it's snake oil or if it actually works, but for me it did work. That's all I'm going to say. And then you've just got the equalizer as well. So you've got the default equalizer, which is very good. And then these are all the ones which I don't know. Are they the ones that have been done by the Grammy artists? I don't know. But they look the same as EQs for any sort of genre that I've seen. So all your different ones. But then you do have, where is it? I think there's one in here. There is a treble reducer as well, right down at the bottom. So if you find that it's not enough treble, if it's too much treble, then you can turn that one on, and then you can create your own custom one, which, as you can see there, it's probably see the same on screen anyway. I just gave it a little bit of bump to the mid-range, and that is it really. I don't think there's anything else to talk about with them, but extremely good sounding. All right. I mean, if you were just thinking, okay, they're made by Anker, because Anker are a cool company. Like, let's just say with PC builds, right? I think we all know this in the PC community, that Arctic, they don't make the most prettiest and the best looking CPU coolers and cooling products for PCs out there, but you know what you're getting with them. You know you're getting good quality at a fair price. It's very similar to like Logitech with PC speakers and things like that. They don't make the, you know, they're not the best things in terms of sound quality, but you know they're going to be good, and you know they're going to be good value. And Anker is extremely like that as well. Like, you know, if you're buying an Anker charger, USB cable or hub, and all those sort of, you know, all those sort of accessories that Anker make, you know it's going to be good value for money. It's not going to be the most expensive out there. It's not going to be the most cheapest, but you know what you're getting is good. And the exact same thing, this is what I'm seeing with Soundcore now. And especially, you know, this is only the first pair of headphones they have sent me. But let me just make sure I'm not still screen recording. Yeah, this is only the first pair of headphones, you know, that they've sent me. But just based on all the other reviews and everything else I've read, I can tell they're taking the exact same approach. And so it's going to be a company that I would probably always recommend, and I would definitely recommend these. Now, £130 isn't cheap change. And I do think that improvements need to be made for the next generation. They need to up the mic game more than anything for me, and definitely the touch controls. The fact that I've seen on all of your reviews that the touch controls aren't good is showing you that you've had a problem and showing you that you haven't addressed the problem. So I would address that problem. But would I buy these if I had £130? They'd definitely be high up on my list. I actually haven't tested many wireless earbuds over sort of £100, and the reason is just because of personal preference. Whenever I'm spending that much money on headphones, I always go, I always want to get these big over ear ones. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I go for. But yeah, I wouldn't feel out of pocket if I bought them. I'd feel happy with them, and these are going to be used all the time, especially in winter and stuff as well, because I don't really like wearing, you know, overhead headphones, some of my Sennheisers that I've got in the winter, because I like to have a beanie on as well, so they're perfect for me. So yeah, I'm going to stop waffling now because I've been chatting on for ages. Definitely recommend them. Should be a link in the description below, and hopefully they're going to send some more out in the future so we can review them too. If you like the video, leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back again real soon.